bubbling over with!
Big Bubble Radio.
Hello and welcome to the local lockdown with me, T.U.R.T.L.E. This week we have two fantastic bands for you. The first band is Next to Mountains. They're a Kent-based band from Ashford. I'm going to get straight into it. Here they are with their first track.
Sunny afternoons, looking at pictures. Not always, but sometimes you're in them. You made me feel a mile high. You gave me a smile I thought could never die, and you still own my eyes. I can't see your face, not in my mind's eye. I've got my smile back in my mind. I kept your picture, and you kept mine. And my eyes, and my eyes, and my eyes. Same place, same pose, different me, different clothes. And my eyes, gateway to my soul. I can't look at myself. You took more than you know. I can't see your face, not in my mind's eye. I got my smile back in my mind. I kept your picture, and you kept mine. And my eyes, and my eyes, and my eyes, you still own my eyes. Sunny afternoons, going for a drive. Loving the scenery, go the extra mile. Not the same places, but the same feelings. I've never been more alive, but I feel like I'm dreaming. You still own my eyes. I can't see your face, not in my mind's eye. I got a smile back in my mind. I kept your picture, and you kept mine. And my eyes, and my eyes, and my eyes, you still own my eyes.
That was Next to Mountains with My Eyes. I have to say, obviously this is my show, so I can play what I want. But obviously, you know, I have to be realistic. I can't just play stuff that I like. I have to, you know, present a broad spectrum of music to keep people interested. But I love this band. I think they're absolutely amazing. The first minute I heard the first track that I was sent, I was hooked, absolutely hooked. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Taylor's the lead singer. I mean, his voice it's got the sort of Ian Astbury from the Cult sort of thing going on. It's got a bit of Pete Byrne from Dead or Alive. It's obviously there's a Joy Division thing going on there, an Ian Curtis thing. Interpol, if you're aware of Interpol, another great band that's got sort of Joy Division flavour to it. I think these guys are brilliant. I think they're really great songwriters. It's really nicely produced. And yeah, I can see these guys playing on massive stages. They've just got this sort of euphoric sound. It's amazing. It's brilliant. I'm massively into it. And yeah, I should just mention quickly, there is a battle of the bands. Dread it, horrible things, I know. But there is one going on at the moment in Swale, which is borderline acceptable. It's being voted for online. So it is sort of a popularity contest, I guess. But these guys have actually got through to the final. Another band we featured a few weeks ago was also on it. And yeah, there's been some good bands. There's been some good bands involved in this one. And it does seem to be being done for the correct reasons for once. And yeah, these guys and another band called Wren have got through to the final. And yeah, I'm not saying you have to vote. I'm just saying all the bands that have been in it have been really good and have been proper bands. So I would say, yeah, have a look. Go on to Next to Mountain's Facebook page. I'll put links, as ever, on the blog. And yeah, just go and have a look at the Swale Battle of the Bands and just check out the other artists that have been involved. Because I've been impressed. There's been some really good stuff on that one. And obviously, because it's voted for online, it isn't just a popularity contest on the night, which, is a nice thing. I've never been particularly keen on Battle of the Bands because, music's tough enough already without making it into a sort of competition, a popularity contest. But, I do understand, I guess, in some level, the point of it. Anyway, that's enough of my ramblings. Here's the second fantastic track from Next to Mountains. And I should just mention that background noise is in fact the rain absolutely hammering it down here in Germany. In case you wondered, it's not sound quality. Do not adjust your radio.
Make no mistake, it's not just where you've been, whether under the covers or in a magazine. They heard the rebuke that you've been peddling. Well, the knives are all out and you just set the scene. You show some regret and hope it all comes clean. They won't let you forget and their words cut deep. Can't leave it behind more than a moment in time. You've seen this before and now they're at your door. So tell me the truth. and made you dead to the world. Make no mistake, the stars and souls that did your work and made you dead to the world. Make no mistake, the stars and souls that did your work and made you dead to the world.
That was Tangent by Next to Mountains. Again, another brilliant song. I really, really like this band, as I said earlier. Another thing I think is cool about this band, 3 guitars, which gives you so many possibilities. I mean, there's obviously a Strat in there. I think it's a Telecaster, and there's definitely a Les Paul playing some rhythm parts. And it's just got this massive sound. You know, a nice bit of chorus and some reverb, and you've got this cacophony of music. It's brilliant. Really, really like that. And again, that track quite different to the first track. That for me kind of had a bit of a Franz Ferdinand feel, maybe. You know, that sort of vibe to it. But again, the vocals are fantastic. You can't help but just get drawn in by it. Really, really like that band. I'll be playing their latest single later on in the show. And obviously, as I always say, there will be a blog that accompanies this episode on Big Bubble UK with all the links to Next to Mountain, all their social media, where you can buy their music. So please do go check it out, have a listen. The band are doing their first album now, so hopefully that'll be ready for release soon. And yeah, I should probably give you some more background information on Next to Mountains. Okay, Next to Mountain is a Kent-based original indie band. Next to Mountains have launched their debut EP Early Days across all major music platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, which I will link to in the blog. They're hard at work writing their anticipated debut album due out in 2021. The band have taken the opportunity during the UK COVID-19 lockdown to offer their fan base a glimpse of what is to come. Driving beats, slick bass, grooves, bombastic vocals, loving the use of bombastic there, and layered guitar work, gotta love that. Live dates are due to kick off in October at the Penny Theatre in Canterbury, which is a great venue. I played there last year with Samuel Ashton and the Pinocchios, and I've got to say that place has got an amazing on-stage sound, really, really good. You can hear everything. It's probably my favourite venue for actual on-stage sound. I don't know what it sounds like in the audience, but on stage sounds amazing. Okay, the self-produced 3-track EP features the songs My Eyes, which you've already heard, and Tangent, which you just heard, and A Month of Sundays, which is their latest single, which I'll play later on. They've got a lockdown-inspired music video for A Month of Sundays, which has recently gone on YouTube, which again I will link to. Early Days was recorded, mixed and mastered remotely and produced by the band's guitarist, Glenn Hollins. The band are very active on social media. They're on Facebook, Instagram and on YouTube. As I say, that will all be included in the blog at the end of the show. So thank you very much to Next to Mountains for letting me feature them on today's show.
Bubbling over with!
Big Bubble Radio.
Don't forget, you can email us, studio@bigbubble.uk.
Now it's time to feature our second artist today. I'm just going to go straight in with the track. This is Kyanna.
Looks so blinding. She got her own thing going on. step in the room, impress them. Never less than. Keeping it real, keeping on top of stressing. The pressures of the world. She's a girl that knows herself and she knows better. Obviously, kind at heart, no one can forget her. She says it louder than she should, just like she knew she always could. Hold on, I got a lot of love for a woman, so strong. This girl takes on the world like it is nothing, even though they judging. Even though they judging, even though they judging, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. Oh, now that you hold on, I got a lot of love to give. So strong, yeah, yeah. This girl is louder than she knows, like it is nothing, like she always knew she
That track was She by Kyanna. What a cool sound. It's got a bit of everything going on there. It's got a little bit of sort of old school R&B. The drumming on that track is awesome. Love the way the drums are produced. Love the snare drum sound. Really like the arrangement of the music. Kyanna's voice sounds great. Yeah, it's got like a neo-soul sort of thing going on there. There's a bit of sort of Alicia Keys almost. That very relaxed, laid-back way of sort of presenting a lyric. Yeah, I think that's a really cool track. Right, now I should give you some background on Kyanna. Kyanna grew up in a musical household on the sounds of classical rock, folk music in the seaside town of Sandwich in Kent. She started off writing and recording as a contemporary folk-style singer, but it wasn't until she moved to London with her producer boyfriend Jack, otherwise known as Jack Capella, that she started experimenting with new sound kindred to neo-soul contemporary R&B, with influences such as Ari Lennox, Georgie Smith, and singers and artists like that. Kyanna released her EP Phase in October 2019, which was followed up with the remix project Phase 2. She has since released 2 singles in 2020, with music videos and a third to follow on the 26th of June. So yeah, go and check that out because that is now available. All of Kyanna's music is created and distributed through her and Jack's media company, kyjak Music. Yeah, check out the music videos. They're really, really well produced, really nicely done. It's obviously a proper project where a lot of thought and time, energy and focus has been put in. Kyanna and Jack also play many live gigs around London under the kyjak alias, including most recently the O2 Academy in Islington. And as ever, I will include all the social media links known to man, so you can go and check out this music as well. Right, I'm going to play the second track now from Kyanna. Here we go.
Getting late. Work 2 jobs and still I can't afford to pay. How can I give it all up? Getting all drunk, getting all high and not coming home. Irregular stuff. Tell me to be careful, you're getting earful. And I ain't gonna hear it like a deaf guy in a mosh pit. I'm on this. Got old friends, I got new ones. I got people that don't care. Still posing and pretending there's no realness out there. No hope for the youth now and anyone who ever wants more. Wanna make my daddy proud, but I can't get out the door. On the right path, got a head start, so why is it taking so long? I'm building, but I'm breaking, I must be getting it wrong. Need a break now, reset, switch it off and then on. I let go of my halo, I've held on for too long. I lose my inhibitions and I go out to the parties all the time. Yeah. Free up your break the rules. Doesn't take brains to see, it's killing me that I have to play the fool. Wanna forget work, forget life, forget reality. Now it's about time you realize the turtle represents me. Free up your halo. Stay up, boy, lay low. 'Cause I want more.
That was Kyanna with Turtle. I really like that track. Now, I was born in 1988, so sort of my early childhood, you're sort of talking mid-90s, 1996 is where I first sort of realised music existed. And at that point you had stuff like T.L.E, you know, Aaliyah, the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, and that track Turtle kind of, that's what that symbolises to me. When I hear that, I think Lisa Left Eye Lopez. You know, I hear that TLC sound with the, you know, the lead melody instrument is not a guitar, it's a bass. It's all about the bass. That whole track, you listen to the bass line of Turtle, that's a killer bass line. There's bits in there where it sounds like it's got an octave pedal on. I don't know if that's a 4-string, a 5-string, a 6-string, but that's a killer bass line. Great track. Again, brilliant vocals. I love the bit of rap. It's very Lisa Left Eye Lopez, which is never a bad thing. Yeah, I think it's cool. It's got a lot going on. It's modern, but it's, as I say, it's got definite 90s R&B rap feel to it, which is awesome. I mean, you can't really beat that for me. It's great. So yeah, that was Kyanna. As I said earlier, all the social media links will be included on the blog that accompanies this show, which you can get via Big Bubble UK. Yeah, that's cool. Right, big thank you to Kyanna for letting me play her music and Jack Capella for sorting me out with the tracks. Yeah, check them out. Also check out Next to Mountains, 2 wonderful artists there from right here in Kent.
The Local Lockdown with Neil Stockley.
Don't forget, you can email us, studio@bigbubble.uk.
Now it's time to move on to the next part of my show. This is the self-indulgent selection. And I'm going to do it slightly differently this week. Normally I just pick random tracks that I like, which I've still done, but this week I'm going to try and sort of keep them in the same vein as the 2 original artists I've already featured. This is a band called Interpol, and this track is called Slow Hands. That was Interpol with Slow Hands. One of the best things, one of my favourite things about music is you can take a track that you've not listened to for maybe 10 years and it can take you straight back to where you were the last time you heard it. That track I was introduced to by a friend of mine when I was probably about 18. And he just gave me a random CD with a load of different stuff on it. I was in his band and I just joined. He wanted me to sort of get a flavour of what they were going for. And at the time, I was driving my first car, which was an old, beaten-up Escort van that had about 190,000 miles on it when I got it. And then I spent the next sort of 2 years driving to hundreds of gigs, playing all over England. And that song would be blasting out of that van all the time. I mean, I put hi-fi speakers in the back of it and wired them all together. It was ridiculous. Looking back on it, it probably sounded awful from a sort of sound quality point of view. But to me at the time, it was amazing. It was loud, it was brash, it had loads of bass. And yeah, I drove that van all over the place, as I say, to the point where I had to park it on hills because the clutch had gone. I had to jump start it every time I wanted to use it. But it was fantastic. It's one of my fondest car-related memories. Anyway, just wanted to say that's the beauty of music. It can take you back in a second to a point in your life that could be 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Bubbling over with!
Big Bubble Radio.
This next track I'm going to play you is an absolute 90s belter. If you're a bass player, this track is off the scale. I don't think you get sessions like this anymore where you're just allowed to go mental. But clearly on this session, they just said to the bass player, do whatever you like. Whatever you want to do, just go for it. And the result is epic. That was TLC with Waterfalls. What a legendary track. I mean, instrumentally, it's absolutely awesome. The synth patterns. It's just an absolute classic. And as I said about the bass line, it just walks wherever it wants to go. There doesn't seem to be any limitations to it at all. I don't know if he's using an envelope filter on some of that or whether there's a phaser in there, but legendary bass sound. Absolutely love it. That was, of course, the amazing Joy Division with Love Will Tear Us Apart. The first track I played in my self-indulgent selection was Interpol. And obviously you can hear the similarities. It's weird because I was sort of more introduced to Interpol first before I ever heard Joy Division. The thing with Joy Division is I don't feel like they sort of influenced a few bands. I kind of feel like they sort of influenced a whole genre of music. I don't think they're limited to sort of, let's use the guitar sound from Joy Division. For me, they literally influenced a whole different realm of indie rock. That's sort of, it is Joy Division. It's Joy Division influenced music, and that's a fantastic thing to have given the world, I guess.
Hear local bands on the local lockdown.
Okay, now I haven't completely lost my mind. There is logic behind my choice of Return of the Mac. 1, what's an amazing track? 2, I don't care, because it's an amazing track. But 3, go back and listen to the bass line and tell me that's not awesome. Because it just is. Any bass players out there, you have to listen to that bass line. It's phenomenal. Now, if you've got a 4-string, you're going to have to detune. Sorry, you're going to have to detune. That's how it is. If you've got a 5-string, you're all right, you can stay where you are. But if you do have a 4-string, you're going to have to tune to D, A, D, G. But don't worry, it's worth it. Did you hear the bass line? It's worth it. That was 2 there in a row from Jay-Z featuring Linkin Park. I know it seems like I've gone completely mad and completely off on a tangent, which I have. Fortunately, however, the word tangent brings me back to Next to Mountains because that was the second song I played from them. Now I'm going to play their new single, which brings me straight back to where I should be. This is Next to Mountains with A Month of Sundays.
matter anyway. Our friends all say T.U.R.T.L.E. It doesn't matter anyway. We will find another. It doesn't matter anyway. We still got all summer. It doesn't matter anyway. So here we all go again. Once more to the breach, dear friends. We have been here before, and last time you said you wanted more.
Bubbling over with!
Big Bubble Radio.
We lived
The
in a
Local
month of
Lockdown with Neil
Sundays.
Stockley.
Well, you saw how it could be. It doesn't matter anyway. Our friends all say T.U.R.T.L.E. It doesn't matter anyway. We will find another. It doesn't matter anyway. We still got all summer. It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter anyway. Not in a month of Sundays. It doesn't matter anyway. Not in a month of Sundays. It doesn't matter anyway. Not in a month of Sundays. It doesn't matter anyway. Well, you saw how it could be. It doesn't matter anyway. Our friends all say T.U.R.T.L.E. It doesn't matter anyway. We will find another. It doesn't matter anyway. We still got all summer. It doesn't matter anyway.
That was the brilliant Next to Mountains with a Month of Sundays. Thank you to both featured artists today, Kyanna and Next to Mountains. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Please do remember there will be a blog that accompanies this show, which is available on Big Bubble UK. Also available on Big Bubble UK is the full list of shows that we do. Do check them out. There's a lot offered. There's a lot of different presenters offering a wide range of entertainment, different music, different ideas, different programs. My show is also available via YouTube, which again you can get the link to from Big Bubble UK. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been a little bit eclectic this week, I must admit. I did go off on a slight tangent, a little bit of a bass tangent, but it's never a bad thing. Now I'm going to do something completely different again. Thank you very much for listening. See you the same time next week, 7 o'clock Saturday.